Darby from rejoiceandcreatecom, and about this time last year I created this tiny little basket. Now it's an origami inspired basket, and the box was folded origami style, and then I went ahead and cut a unique handle for the handle of the basket. If you wish to use this basket, which is 2 inches by 2 inch square by 1 inch tall, I'll go ahead and link this video if you want to go back and see how I did this one. But I was asked recently if I would make a larger version. And here is my larger version. Now I think it turned out just as sweet as the smaller one, and it is 4 inches square. The sides are 2 inches tall. I did the handle just slightly different. If you want to cut it in a similar manner to the last one, go right ahead. It was kind of a free-form cut, although I did give you some guidelines. But this one I used 2 1-inch strips crossed and put a little decorative top on it. Used a bow on it, and on this one I used the Pretty Label Punch by Stampin' Up. And the Easter Blessings is a stamp set by Tailored Expressions, and it's this one, which is simply stamped tulips. And it actually goes quite quickly to create, but I think it makes an adorable little basket for Easter or for anything you wanted to use it for. So let me show you what we need. Start with a piece of paper that is 8 inches by 12 inches. And for the handles, we need 2 1-inch strips of paper. And these two are 11 inches long. The 2 I used on this basket are 12 inches long. So we'll go ahead and make that, and we'll see what the difference between the 11 inch and the 12 inches. So you can just cut 1-inch strip off the cardstock you have available. Now I also used some kind of a medallion on the top of the basket, and this time I'm using a punch from the Truly Tailored Punch. And I went ahead and did some faux stitching with a Signo pen on there. It tends to show up very well in the dark cardstock. I really like those. And then you'll just need some cardstock for the tag, and I'm just using a piece of ivory. Alright, so let's go ahead and get going. I'll show you how it gets scored. With the 12-inch side up, score it at 2 inches, 4 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches. Turn the 8-inch side up and score it at 2 inches on both sides. So I'm going to do it 2 inches. I'm going to turn around and do it 2 inches on this side as well. That just helps in case my cardstock was a little narrower or wider than I intended. Alright, so let me turn to this side, and you can see that there is a 4-inch square in the middle. And on each corner there's a 2 by 2 inch square. Our last score lines are going to go from the corner of the 4-inch square out to the outside corner of the 2-inch square. So we're doing 4 radiant score lines from corner to corner. Alright, so let's go ahead and fold and burnish all of our straight score lines. Okay, so now we're going to fold our diagonal score lines by putting this side up and pulling up this side, the end up, and right at that corner we're going to meet this score line with this score line. And what it should do is actually pop that other score line out right where it belongs, the diagonal one. Okay, so do the same thing on this side. We're going to meet this score line. See if I can get it so you can see it. Go right, this score line to this score line, and that should pop this one right out from where it belongs. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have. All right, now if you want to put a little bit of glue on these corner when you glue them in, that's fine. It is origami. It would stay pretty well. All right, so now what we do is hold those sides up, squish that end up, and then fold this piece down over. And when we fold this piece, these are going to wrap around. And go ahead and coax those over. Okay, what you'll notice though is that this one will not come square to that line. You can see that this paper is going to be folded up just a little bit, and that's because you're folding it over and there's a little bit of bulk in there. That's perfectly fine. Just go ahead and pinch your corner to make it square again, and fold over that top as best you can. Same on this other side. And there we go. As I said, if you want to put a little bit of glue under that flap at this point, you're welcome to. All right, so let's go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. All right, so there's our basket. All right, let me go ahead and set that aside for a moment while we do the handles. All right, so these are 11 inches by 1 inch. And what I'm going to do for each of them is to just fold it in half so I know where the center point is. So go ahead and fold it in half and just pinch the center. It will be covered, don't worry about that. Do the same thing with the other one. Okay, so we know where the center is. Let's go ahead and line those back up again. Make sure the ends are matching and those two folds are in the center. And I'm going to use my stylus, but you can use a pen, a point of a pen or something, and right in the center of that line, just hold that down, because we're going to pivot these open, and we want it to stay right in the center so we know that the ends are both opening at the same angle. All right, so let me go ahead and pivot those open. And what I'm trying to do is, because this is 4 inches wide, I want this corner to this corner to be slightly less than 4 inches. So let me just get my ruler out, and let's see, 1, 2, that's a little bit much, so let me move that one back a little bit. Okay, so from that corner to that corner, it's slightly less than 4 inches. Move that back out. Okay, so now what you want to do is just to secure this with a little bit of tape or a little bit of glue until you get your top piece on there. So let me just go ahead and just put a little bit of Tombow underneath there and stick it so I know my angles will stay. Okay? So now I'm using those 2 decorative pieces that I punched out as soon as I find them. Oh, here they are. All right, so I'm using these 2 decorative pieces that I punched out. On the first one I used the pretty label punch, but this one I thought, because I'm trying to make it look a little bit more masculine, I'll use the tailored label punch. And I'm going to take some glue, and on this inside of the decorated one, the one I actually stitched on already, I'll put some of the glue. And I'm using wet glue because it helps me move it around a bit. Now, right across the center, I'm going to line up my center of this punchy. So that these ends are pointing right down to the center of the X's, and these 2 are right across the center of where they cross to. All right, so we're going to turn this over, and we're just going to glue the other one back on the other side. It kind of finishes it on the inside. And go ahead and match that up. And hold that down. Okay, so this is my handle, and once it's dried together, I'm just going to take my bone folder and just curl it a little bit. Give it a little bit of a curve, because I don't want it to fold, but I do want it to kind of curve over into the top of my basket handle. Now I'll just put a little bit of glue on the end of my handles, and I'm going to put on the side with the folds. So let me lay that side down, and I'm going to put my end of the handle right inside. Well, you can see once it's going to glued, but once inside there. Okay, so you see that that's there, just about the same distance from both sides. Now let's go ahead and turn it over, and we'll do the same with the other side. Okay, so here's my basket. I think that's pretty sweet, and it can hold a lot of candy. All right, so I went ahead and stamped and already put my tie on the tag. And as I said, I used the Easter Blessings from the Tailored Expressions Simply Stamped Tulips. And to make it look a little bit more rustic or masculine, I'm going to go ahead and use some of this jute twine. And I have 2 strands that are maybe about 20 inches long each. I'm going to go ahead and tie it around one side just at the end of my ornament for the top of the handle. And I'm going to go ahead and tie it in a bow. You can tie it in a knot as well. I think guys are okay with bows as long as they don't look too frilly. Alright, so I've got that. Now let me go ahead and tie my tag on. And I think that looks very sweet. Let me move this down, and you can actually anchor this with a glue dot, and that's what I'm going to do, is put a glue dot right where I want the bow to sit. Alright, so before I wrap up the video, let me go ahead and bring my other one back and I'll show you the difference in the handles. Because remember, this was the 12-inch strips and this was the 11-inch strips. So let me go ahead and tilt these sideways so you can see the difference between the 11-inch strip and a 12-inch strip. This one's a little bit more compact down to the basket. And of course this one gives you a little bit higher handle. So whatever your preference is, or whatever you have around, go ahead and use what you want to. Alright, so let me go ahead and fill our baskets and I'll be right back. Alright, so here are my 2 baskets. I realize it's hard to see from an aerial view, but I'll show you this one. And here's my other one. And it really makes a very sweet little Easter treat. Well, I hope you enjoyed this project. And if you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of new videos as I post them. If you need more information on this project or any others I have done, please go to rejoiceandcreatecom. And as always, until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!